Hello, fourth grade. Today we are going to be learning about multiples. Now, multiples are similar to factors, but they're a little bit different. So let's just get started right away with the lesson. You're going to be needing your prime mathematics book, 4A, page 23. So before we get started, what I'm going to do is let's just do a little bit of review when it comes to factoring. Last time we did play a Kahoot to learn a little bit about that. I will click on that and I'll show you that a little bit later. But if you go to this slide, which is in Google Classroom, it'll show you a little bit about factoring. Now, we can factor any number you want. So for example, let's pick 20. Okay, let's try 20. I can take 20 and I can multiply that out, okay, into the factors. 20 equals 4 times 5, and then 4 equals 2 times 2, and 2 equals 1 times 2. So the factors of 20 we could put as 1, 2, 4, 5, and 20. All right, let's try a new one. Let's try a completely different problem. Let's pick another number. Let's go with 25. 25 is a little bit more difficult. 25, we can factor that out into 5 times 5. And 5 times 1 equals 5. So our factors of 25 are 1 and 5 and 25. Now we don't need to add both of those 5s. We do have 5 times 5, but we don't need to put 2 5s as our factors, just 1. Let's try another one. Let's pick a bigger number this time. Let's go with, how about 40? 40. Well, I know that 2 times 20 is 40. And again, 4 times 5 is 20. And 2 times 2 is 4. And 1, let's see, this is 1 times 5 equals 5. Did we miss any factors in there? I'm not quite sure. Let's see, 40 equals, we have 1, 2, 4, 5, 20, and 40. Those are all factors. 1, 2, 4, 5, 20, 20, and 40. All right, let's try an even bigger number this time. Let's try 100. All right, I'm going to try 100 for you. Let's do that one. Hope I don't miss any of them because there are quite a few. 100. Well, I know that 1 times 100 is our factors. I know that 2 times 50 are factors. 3 is not a factor. 4 is a factor. 4 times, nope, 4, let's see. 4 times 25 is a factor, yep. So we have 25 right here. 2 times 25 is actually 50. So 5 times 5 equals 25. And then we need to have 4 in there. 4 times 25 is a factor. I'll just add a new branch right there. 50, well, 10 times 5 is a factor of 50. And then I can branch that out again. Let's see, 6 isn't a factor, 7 isn't a factor, 8, is 8 a factor? No. 9, 10, I think we've got them all. 20 is a factor. 20 times 5 is a factor. Oh, we already have that one. We put 50 right here. That's actually 20. Okay. And 2 times 50 is a factor of 100. So yeah, we actually have all of them. 50, okay, so 5 times 10 is 50. So this isn't perfect, but we do have all the factors. So of 100, I'll write that again. Of 100, we can find all those factors, which, let me just use a different color so we can use that. We have 1, 2, 4, 5, we have 10, we have 20, 10, 20, 50. Did I miss any of them? Missing itself, 100. Okay, so we can use this tool to help us find the factors, okay? It's a little bit quicker just so we can break them out into a little bit easier steps, but this helps you with factors, okay? So that's just a little bit of review just so that you know how to factor. When we factor, we always break the number into smaller numbers. Now, we're going to be learning something today that is a little bit different than factoring. We're going to be learning something called multiples. If you need to practice factoring, you can always come back to some of these activities. Here's a factor game that you can play at home. And here's a couple other activities that I can show you. I guess we'll continue doing a couple more activities with factoring because it is good. It's good to practice. These are rainbow factors. So for example, you can pick the colors that you want and just find the factors. So I know that 1 times 8 is 8, and I also know that 2 times 4 is a factor. So those are some factors of 8. You can do those rainbows. It's kind of more interesting. Let's find another one. Let's do a bigger one. Let's go with 18. Let's try that one. 18, let's do different colors. I know that 1 times 18 are both factors of 18. I know that 2 times 9 are both factors of 18. And I know that 3 times 6 are factors of 18. So we have 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18 as factors of 18. Let's do another one. Oops. Let's go with, let's go with a bigger number. Let's go 36 this time. 36 can be factored out into many different numbers. 1 times 36. And 2 times, I didn't pick the color. 2 times, what numbers? 2 times 18 is 36. And 3, we can do 3. 3 times 12 is 36. So we can just connect those, right? Those are our different factors. Just connect those out so we understand what they are. Oh, there's got to be more factors of 36. Let's pick a different color. We're making a rainbow here, right? I know that 4 times 9 is 36. 9, 18, 27, 36. Let's see, is there any more? 5, 6. Oh, yep, 6 times 6 is 36. Let's just pick, which one have we not done yet? Blue. 6 times 6 is 36. So we have our rainbow right there. Isn't that pretty? We found all the factors of those numbers with a rainbow method. So there's lots of different ways that you can find factors or practice factors, okay? Let's go on to another activity. We have this activity right here. This shows you the different factors of the numbers, okay? These are kind of like rules that show you different types of factors, okay? It says 1 is a factor of every number, which we went through the last class period. When 2 is the number, 2 when the number is even, so 2 is a factor when the number is even, so 18 has 2 as a factor, or 100 as 2 as a factor. 3 is a factor when the digits add up to a multiple of 3. And you can read the rest of those. The one that I really want you to pay attention to is that last one. It says 9 is a factor when the digits add up to 9. So for example, let me actually give you an example. If we add up, for example, 1 plus 8, that is going to give us 9, right? So when the digits add up to 9, that gives us a factor. If we have, let's see, 3 plus 6, that's going to give us our 9, right? And we have 7 plus 2, that's going to give us a factor of 9. So when those digits add up to 9, 9 is a factor. Okay, so those are just some tricks. We'll go through a couple of those some other day. But just for the sake of today's lesson, I just wanted to practice a couple of ways to factor out. Here's another activity that I actually put on Google Classroom. Okay, so if you wanted to find the factors of these numbers, you could do that if you wanted to. For example, what factor is missing of 4? Well, it is 2. All right. And what factor is missing here? 1, 3, and 9. Oops, let me go back there. Sorry about that. Here we go. We can move this over, and there's our factor, 9. Okay. So these are activities that I put on Google Classroom. If you want to look on Google Classroom, I actually have this on Google Classroom. Okay, so take a look at the link. I can send you the link inside of the YouTube video description so that you can see that. Okay, so here's some more examples. Today we're going to be doing is looking at page 23 to learn about multiples. Multiples is the topic for today. And I have lots of different games at the end to show you to practice multiples. We're just going to dive right in to find out what multiples are. Okay, when we multiply, boys and girls, we're using the multiples on our multiplication table to figure out these answers. So, for example, let's actually we're going to look at separate groups of numbers. Okay. It says, see the groups of apples. Now, we don't have a group of apples on this page, but you do see them in your book on page 23. Okay, let me just draw a group of apples. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to find 6 groups of apples. Okay, when we find 6 groups of apples, we can actually count by 6. So when we count by 6, 6 is actually the first multiple of itself, of 6. If we continue counting by 6, 6 plus 6 is 12. So that's the second multiple of 6. 6 plus 12 is 18. It's the third multiple of 6. 18 plus 6 is 24. So that's our fourth multiple of 6. All we're doing is we're multiplying by 6. Okay, 6 plus 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. That gives us 12. And then plus 6. That's going to give us 18. And then 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 is going to give us 24. All right. Those are our multiples of 6. 6, 12, 18, 24. Okay, and you could continue. What we're going to do now is we're going to find the multiples of 7. So let's just count by 7. 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7. You can just continue counting. Okay. Let's find those out. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 5 is 35. Okay, and we could continue if we wanted to. We could continue forever and ever and ever. But all we're doing is just multiplying 7 by itself. 7 times 1, 7 times 2, 7 times 3. Okay? Let's go to the next page and let's find out some more multiples. Okay, we can find those multiples just by counting by, using those tables, just like we had before. So let me actually show you the table. You can use those tables from before. Okay, you can use those tables and find our multiples. So if we find the multiples of 2, we can just go and just multiply 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Okay? Those are just the multiples right there. All right? So let's actually fill in some of those blanks in the next couple of problems. All right? Here we go. Let's find those multiples. Well, I know that 2. Next one is 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Those are all the multiples of 2, and we could just continue forever and ever and ever if we wanted to. Let's count by 3s. Switch the color. Let's find those multiples of 3, okay? You'll notice with multiples, the number is getting bigger, not smaller. So let's count by 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is, oh boy, 3 times 2 is 6. It's not going to let me do these very easily. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 8 is 20. Where are we? 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 8 is 24. Okay, and we can continue. 27. It just goes on forever and ever and ever. Okay, all we're doing is counting by 3. 3 plus 1, 3 plus 3, 6 plus 3, 9 plus 3, 12 plus 3. Okay, we're adding. You're adding itself. So 3 plus 3, and then plus 3, and then plus 3. Okay, so it just continues forever and ever and ever. All right. All right, what I want you to do is pause the video, and you're going to do the rest of these on your own. Okay, so let's pause the video and do the rest of these on your own. All right, hopefully you paused the video, and we're going to check your answers. This should be pretty simple. If you don't know, you should be using your multiplication table. All right, so we have 4. Oops, not 44. I wish I could erase that, but I can't. 4. Next one, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, and they continue. Okay, next one. Let's go with 6. What are the multiples of 6? 6. First one, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. 6 times 7, 42. 2, that's a 2. 6 times 8 is 48. And I don't think you have any more blanks on your paper. Okay, multiples of 8. Let's find out. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. That's a 0. 48, 56. I added one extra blank on each one of those. So there you go. Oops, that was supposed to be 56. I gotta erase that, erase that. There we go, 56. Oops, oh, yay, 56, there we go. And 10s, that should be the easiest one, right? Pick a maybe black color. 10, 20, 30, 40, that's a 0. 50, 60, 70, and it continues. That's a 0. Okay, cool. So we just found out the multiples of those numbers. All we do is count by itself, okay? So those are really, really important to understand. We're going to erase this and go on to the next page. 24, page 24. We're going to fill in the blanks, yes or no, just like we did in the other page on page 20, to see if these are multiples, okay? If we can continue the multiplication up to that number, it's going to be yes. If we can't continue, it's going to be no. So let's find out. Let's see. Is 48 a multiple of 6? Well, 6, 12, 18. If I continue, will I get to 48? Yes, I will, because 6 times 8 is 48. Okay, so yes, that is correct. Is 6 a factor of 48? Well, let's find out. 6 times what number gives us 48? Well, we know that 8 times 6 equals 48, so yes, it is. So we're looking at two different concepts now. We've already learned multiples, and last time we learned factors. So yes, those are yes for both of the answers. Let's look at the next couple of problems. The next problem says, pick a different color, 64. Is 64 a multiple of 6? If we continue counting, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. Are we going to eventually get to 64? Yes or no? No, I don't think so. That's not correct. We will get to a number that's close to 64. 6 times 11 is 66, but 66 is not the same as 64, so this is not correct. Let's continue. Is 6 a factor of 46? 6 times some number, will that give us 46? Well, we just found out that that's not correct. I know that 6 times 11 will give us 64, but no number is going to give us 46. 6 times 7 is 42. That's close enough. Kinda, but it's not the same. I can go up a little bit more. 6 times 8 is 48, but that's not the same. None of those are the same, so no, that is not correct. Okay, so your answers should be right here. Yes, yes, no, no on page 24. Let's go to the next blank. Let's go to the next part of the problem, which is determining whether the number is a factor or a multiple. Okay, so I would like you to actually try to do this page on your own. All right, you're going to put the word factor or multiple in the blank. All right, do you try it out? Let's see if you can figure out the answers. Okay, well, if we found out that 4 times 8 equals 28, then we know that indeed 4 is a factor of 28. So we should put the word factor right there. Okay. 28. Is 28 a factor or a multiple of 7? Well, if I continue to count 7, 14, 21, 28, and then I continue, I know that 28 is indeed a multiple of 7. Okay? And the last one, 7 is a, well, we just counted by 7, so we know that 7 is actually a factor of 28, okay, because we're counting by it, 7, 14, 21, 28, okay? The next exercise says, fill in the blank with yes or no. Let's read the question. It says, is 78 a multiple of 2? Well, let's find out. If we count by 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, will we eventually get to 78? Yes or no? Yeah, we will. And we know that because it ends in an 8, okay? We can see all of those even numbers right over here. These are all even numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8, and then we have that 0. And then it starts over again, 2, 4, 6, and then eventually it's going to get to 8 at the end. So yes, it is a multiple. 78 is a multiple of 2. Let's go to the next part. Let's read the next question. It says, is 78 a multiple of 5? If we count by 5, boys and girls, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, will we eventually get to 78? Yes or no? No, we won't. Nope, it's not going to get there. It's going to get to 75 and 80, but it won't get to 78. What about, is 78 a multiple of 8? Well, let's see. 8, 16, 24. Will we eventually get to 78? No, we won't, unfortunately. 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 9 is 72. 8 times 10 is 80. No, we're not going to get there. So no, that's not correct. Let's see, now we're looking at multiples with bigger numbers. Is 100 a multiple of 4? Well, we can see if we multiply. We have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Will that eventually get us to 100? You'd have to count a really, really long time to get there. But I know if I multiply this out, I know that 4 times some number equals 100. I can even divide it if I really wanted to. Okay, I could divide 100 by 4 to figure out my answer. 4 goes into 10 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. Bring down my 0. I know that 5 times 4 equals 20. Subtract, and that's going to give me 25. My answer is 25 times 4 gives me 100. Okay, ooh, that you cannot see that very well. Let me try that again. 25. So this is correct. Okay, that is correct. 100 is a multiple of 4. Let's try it with 5. If we continue counting by 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, oops, that's not 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Will we eventually get to 100? Will we get there? Well, we can divide it out again if we really want to try to figure out our problem. We can try that. Or we can multiply. Or we could add. Okay, I could add if I really wanted to. If I added 4 numbers together that were the same number, what would I get as my answer for 100? Well, I know that 25 plus 25 plus 25 plus 25 gives me 100. I could also multiply that out. 4 times some number gives me 100. 25 is my answer. Okay, you could divide it just like before or multiply. So yes, that is correct. Okay. Oh, we were doing multiples of 5, not 4. Let's try that again. I can prove that by taking 5 times some number. Okay, we're working with 5. Sorry about that. Which will equal 100. Well, I can add up 5 numbers like 20, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. All of those added up equal 100. So 20 times 5 equals 100. So yes, that is correct. Okay? And let's do the last one. Is 100 a multiple of 10? Well, this one's simple. We've already done it before. 10, 20, 30. Oh, I did it again. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And that 2 just goes away because I don't need it. It is indeed a multiple. Okay, so we're going to put yes on the blank. Okay, good. So we've learned a little bit about multiples and factors. Hopefully you are understanding this concept, the difference between multiples and factors. If not, I have a couple of games that I can show you. They're actually really cool games. I like them. We're going to go back to that Kahoot. No, it didn't load, but we can go to this game right here. It's called Turtle Diary, which is a really cool game to help you understand the concept of factors and multiples. Okay, and there's also some other games that we can play. There's this pumpkin multiple, which is on mathplayground.com. And this one right here is called enrichmaths.org. I'm going to have all those load, and I will put these inside of the link inside of the YouTube video. Okay, these are all really great games. And then this last one, you're really, really going to love. It's called Math Ninja. All right, so let's look at that first one. You can find the multiple. It's still loading. Give it a second. Here we go. Math Pumpkin, the pumpkin one. That one's still loading too. They're all still loading. Let's see. All right, let's look at this first one. This is the
Number Ninja.
Number Ninja.
Multiples.
Let's pick a multiple. We're going to be doing multiples of 9. All right, so we got to slice the multiples of 9. 81. That one's correct. Oops, I didn't do this. 9 times 9 is 81. Let's see, any more? Ooh, what happened? I'm not slicing those. That one's a multiple. 9 times 5 is 45. Ooh, I don't know who's controlling this. That one, 90 is a multiple. 10 times 9. 11 times 9 is 99. So you kind of get the idea of this one. It's kind of cool. 63. 7 times 9 is 63. Ooh, those just bumped into one another. So that's a really cool website that you guys can use to practice multiples. This one's kind of cool too. So let's start this one. You can pick certain numbers to make a chain. So for example, 12, 24, those make a chain. 36. 12 times 4 is 48. 48. So we're making chains, okay? Or you could do multiples. We could start again if we wanted to. Start over. We could do the multiples. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Those are all making a chain, right, to find those multiples. Let's start again. Let's do the 5s, for example. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And it's always going to be either blue or green if you're doing it correctly. Okay? So you can do multiples or factors with this website. Okay? Here we go. This is the Turtle Diary. Let's start on maybe the multiples of 10, just to make it easy. Okay, 10 to go. We got to figure out the multiples of 10. No, it says click on the multiples of the number 3. So 3, 6, 9, 12.
Excellent.
There's 1. 7 times 3 is
Great
21.
job.
9 times 3 is
Brilliant.
27. 10 times 3 is
Brilliant.
30. 15 times 3
Wonderful.
is 25. Ooh, are there any more? I can't think of...
Wonderful.
9, that's a factor. Are there any more? The time's going away. Help me. I don't think I can see any more. Oh, here we go.
Oops.
No,
this is
correct.
incorrect.
That one's incorrect. I don't think I see any more, honestly. Let's see what happens in 7 seconds. Let's find out. Can't think of any more multiples of 3. Did I miss any? Oh, I missed a couple. 57 was 1. 54 was 1. I missed a few. That's okay. All right. And then this last one, this pumpkin multiples, is kind of cool. beginning to move over with our thing. 32. 24 is a multiple of 8. 64 is a multiple. 22 is not. 26 is not. 64 is. 8 times 8 is 64. Nope. 46 is not. Nope. 12 is not. 40 is. 5 times 4. Sorry, 5 times 8. Nope. 46 is not. 76 is not. 48. Okay, so you get the idea of that that game. So thank you, boys and girls, for joining me. Hopefully we learned a little bit more about factors and multiples today, and really check out those games if you want to practice.